10 years ago, I was 19, just about to head off for university, and I think I wasn't going to hear about the secret world properly until a year later. My earliest memory of the secret world was I was on holiday in Keswick in 2013, checking the Steam sale on my phone every morning just to see if there was anything fun, and I saw it was on offer. And the aesthetic and what it was about seemed really interesting to me, so I bought it there and then, knowing I couldn't play it until I got back. As soon as I got back, I started the download and unleashed myself upon London as a Templar, found myself quickly in Kingsmouth, and just immediately my jaw was on the floor so hard I bought my friends copies that same day so they could join me. Steam says I have about 500 hours, maybe 10 of those are for Secret World Legends. I also played a good few hundred hours after that once the conversion happened on the non-Steam version, so conservatively I'd estimate maybe about 700 hours. I love the fact that Secret World respects my ability to think for myself. When I first played, I absolutely sucked at this game. I could not understand the gearing mechanic, and I would blindly throw abilities onto my deck and just use them as they felt right, until eventually I told myself, like, hey, this is an MMO, ask someone for help. So I did, and then I got pointed in the direction of some good mechanic guides, which at the time were very minimal and threadbare. And the rest I worked out myself. That's when I built my first proper deck, and honestly I don't think I've been using much of a different deck ever since. When it comes to the quests, so many quests are reduced to, go find me 500 bear asses. In the secret world, you're looking into real world literature, real world music, deciphering like occult alphabets. It's just so wonderful, the feeling that you get when you overcome these challenges. I feel the transition to Kaiden and the Aegis gearing as a whole could leave a lot to be improved. Back in the day when I finally made it to Tokyo, I quit for about a year because the enemies would just destroy me, and it felt like no matter what I did, I was just pushing my head against a brick wall. Like, I checked my build was fine, but at the time I didn't know which missions I needed to take in order to get my second set of controllers, as well as the shield to help nullify some of their damage. When I eventually came back, I was feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the challenge, and it was fine. But for new unsuspecting players, that difficulty jump is very rough, even like probably the steepest difficulty jump this game has. My favourite zone has to be Savage Coast, hands down. It has some of the places with the best atmosphere that to this day leave me a little spooked. I love Solomon Island as a whole, but I feel Blue Mountain has far too many fuck you environmental mechanics, and I feel Kingsmouth Town is probably going to be the answer that many people give. So excluding Kingsmouth Town, it has to be Savage Coast for me. The rest of the maps are wonderful, but none stick in the memory like Savage Coast does. Despite the majority of my playtime being with a Templar character, I actually think I prefer the Illuminati. As I got older and entered the workplace, I truly began to understand the sardonic parody of a corporation taking the fun out of myth and legends come to life. My favourite weapons have to be Blood Magic and Pistol. Chaos coming in third. They're all such unique weapons for a setting like this, and they all have a very fast tempo to them that I prefer over some of the other weapons. Plus, I'm dumb and I can only count to 5, so a weapon pair with a good level 5 consumer is perfect for me. When picking a favourite quest, I can't pick just one. And considering I said Kaiden nearly made me quit, one of my choices would actually be from that zone. My favourite quest would either be Nightmare in the Dream Palace, due to being able to see all the things you did in a trippy clip show-esque quest. Very cool. Second one is possibly the Seven Silences. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the park. I loved a story that tied in so close to an area that I was so fond of. And the ending alluding to so much more had me excited. I only got to experience the quest once, but I'm glad I got to, as I think the ending is the only part of the secret world that made me cry a little bit. My least favourite quest is Venetian Missile Crisis. In all honesty, it's probably not a bad quest in the slightest, but when I first tried to complete it, I was vastly underprepared in both gear and mental preparation, and throwing myself against it, like try after try after try, felt impossible. And while it did feel good when I eventually succeeded, I think all of that failure that felt unjust left a salty taste in my mouth. My most memorable moment in Secret World was back when I was first playing. There was the first year anniversary event, and there was those giant golems everywhere. I didn't know that at the time, however. As I was escorting Edgar's dog Tango to the airport in It Takes Two to Tango, I was following the road north in apprehension of what would jump out at me and try to kill me next. Then all of a sudden I see this golden behemoth just pacing around, slightly out of my computer's view distance, so partially obscured by fog. I was terrified in that moment, and then my terror turned to joy as I quickly shouted in the zone chat, "What is this giant golem?" And there were many gleeful replies of, "Oh, join /event," and "It's a golem, wait for us, let us meet up on you." And then that's when I think I truly had my first MMO experience in the secret world.